Hi guys, Sky here, and we have Stormy here.
Hello.
Today we're gonna cover episode 5 of Falcon and Winter Soldier. We have one episode left until um we get the final episode, and to narrow it down, what did you think of this episode? What what did you like? What didn't you like?
So I liked the build up. The build up was nice, as always. I appreciated the fight between Falcon, Bucky, and John Walker. I feel like everyone wanted that, and they were, really happy to see it done that way. Especially like the tag combo at the end. That was really nice. From a story perspective, the build up has been really nice. We still don't know a lot of information about the power broker and about the big kind of like idea here. We do see a lot of like good scene moments, and we get to see the family built scene, which I liked. We get a glimpse of the suit, of the containment of the suit. We don't quite see it, but I feel like some people have speculations on that as well. Um, and I feel like the episode as a whole for build up was good, and I don't really know what the end goal is still, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you mean because we don't really know what Carly and the power brokers and her supporters are gonna do. Because we see them gathering in New York, but we don't really know for what reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I guess I hope they address that, or we're just gonna see it play out in the next episode. And also, they brought back in Batroc. Um, I didn't really expect him to appear again, so that was nice.
Mm.
Um, Now, what did you think about the scenes with Bucky and Sam? Like more like just hanging out, building back up their boat.
I mean, I feel like everyone enjoyed that for the most part. I definitely saw some people that would that didn't want it to happen, but honestly, I'd be okay to see an entire show just about them hanging out. Not necessarily any bad guys. For that response. I feel like it added a lot of character and it made us care about them way more if we already didn't. And I definitely feel like there's going to be more of that to come, now with, all the build-ups that are happening. Especially, it gave them a chance to kind of seem, more grounded, and it gave us a chance to kind of look into like their intentions a little. And I definitely feel like it's going to add, a lot of plot and potentially like more grounding with their characters, them being friends. Um, and I feel like that was really important. Although maybe we'll probably get more of it.
Yeah, I felt the dynamic they have is really good, and it feels like they really have each other's backs. Um, and that scene where they were practicing throwing the shield back and forth, and um and Bucky kind of says I'm sorry I didn't understand your position before on why you didn't take up the Captain America mantle as soon as you got it. So I really like that scene. It shows sort of Bucky's acceptance, because throughout the series he had been kind of the one pushing Sam to accept the shield and take it back. So yeah, I like that little scene.
For sure. And I feel like that's a
Um
dynamic potentially for a fight in the future. For logistic use. I mean, they've shown that they can both wield the shield well. I mean, we've seen multiple people do it, but I feel like it kind of gives like a combination aspect to it, sort of like a they could work together really well type moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of seen that in the series. Them like teaming up and using each other's abilities at their advantage. Um, we've seen this even since Civil War when they were fighting Spider-Man in the airport battle. But yeah, like they've always had that dynamic and it's worked well. But yeah, you're right. Like it could end up being an obstacle or like an argument because we don't really know if one another is like gonna be sort of, I don't know, like not okay with because as the show is pointing right now, like Sam is gonna become Captain America and Bucky is like, I guess, end position isn't like clear yet. um he could end up taking the White Wolf mantle and like doing that. But yeah, it could set up like a possible conflict of him becoming Captain America. Um, what did you think about the scene with John Walker, like, and him being like sort of removed from all of his like ranks in the government and the Navy and like the Army, and just just he, because in a way he was done kind of dirty, because yeah, like his actions were kind of like unnecessary, but at the same time, like as he said with in that court scene, or where he's like saying why this is unfair, he says like, you guys basically, like, you made me into this, like I didn't really like, I've always been like loyal, and like, what did you think about that?
I mean, I feel like he deserved it. I mean, and then the consensus of like what most people have said, the action that he permitted for the situation didn't match the justification. And I feel like, that's a really strong building point for his character, for him to become, a bad guy. Um, and I feel like that's a really strong turning point in his arc, as a person. And I feel like we're bound to see either more of that, or we're bound to see, the repercussions of him getting stripped of his ranks and everything.
Yeah, this was the first episode that had an end credit scene so far, and in that end credit scene, we see him building like a new shield, and I don't know if it's gonna be made of vibranium or some other material, but yeah, I mean, he's definitely not letting the government calm him down.
And I feel like that's an important
Um,
point as well, for my character dynamic. We see him as being such an opposite to Steve Rogers. I feel like that's another symbolism point to make. And, the fact that, he, did what he did, I feel like is a strong point, to show the differences and show, he's nothing alike.
yeah, I agree with you, because it's, in a way, it's kind of like um a bizarro Cap, because he's really not, he's fine with killing people and like having blood all over him. Like, he's fine with that. It's not really affecting him. So yeah, it's it's gonna be interesting if they're gonna keep the character, or maybe he'll be killed off, which I doubt, but it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts you want to give?
Not really. I mean, the end park scene, which I kind of mentioned earlier, I feel like was, really, really well done. It was kind of surprising, but it kind of gives the scale, what potentially is going to happen.
Yeah, I'm also curious for the next episode, the finale. How big is it going to be? Like
Who can we
uh,
expect to see,
how
if
lo-
anyone?
what?
Who else we can expect to see, if anyone? I feel like it would be a waste if we didn't see any like cameos or other characters come into play.
Yeah, you were telling me before this video, but you did pose like an interesting question about like how, because there, as the series has shown, this final like battle or whatever the Flag Smashers are up to is happening in New York City, and we know Doctor Strange and Spider Man are like the protectors, I guess, or the local heroes around there. So I wonder if they'll address that, or we could get an appearance from them.
I could see them opening up more. I mean, it is New York. I mean, New York is the home of a lot of superheroes, and some of which we haven't seen in the universe yet. I feel like it would be a
Yeah,
wasted opportunity for sure if they don't do something.
yeah, I agree. Um, because this isn't like WandaVision where it was in a small town that isn't necessarily well known. But New York City, on the other hand, is big contender and like threats. Like, so I'm curious how they're gonna address other heroes not being there or something around like that.
Hmm.
And I'm hoping we also get an answer to who the power broker is.
That's on everyone's
Well,
mind.
yeah. Let us know what you guys think, and we'll see you for the finale.